What's up guys, welcome back to Software Solutions, and today we're talking about Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Season 2 and the best settings you can use right now at this very moment for Season 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, something I just want to point out that's very important is this over here. I'm doing a giveaway on a brand new iPhone, and these are literally for my subscribers. So one of my lucky subscribers will be getting an iPhone, and I will announce it on my video. Probably most likely on my comment section or my next video that I'll be posting for maybe the Warzone video for Season 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go over every single step that you're going to need to change inside this game, settings you're going to need to change inside your Windows, inside your graphics settings, and most importantly, inside the game itself. And this is for all users out there. It doesn't matter if you're a low-end user, medium-end user, a high-end user, or you can physically launch nukes with your computer. I really don't give a f. This is for every single person out there that is struggling with this game, or that just wants that extra performance out of this game, or just wants a smooth gameplay experience. All right, let's jump straight over this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the display tab right now, and as you can see, we are in the display mode, and I highly recommend you go ahead and use full screen exclusive if you have one screen, for instance, like a laptop display or a monitor, but you only have one of them. If you have multiple screens like me, go with full screen borderless. It does actually help a lot running the game in full screen borderless if you have multiple screens. You can also get away with running this game in full screen exclusive if you have multiple screens as well. They say, it's a highly unquoted, that running the game in full screen exclusives gives you less input latency. Yes, it actually does. That's if you have one screen. If you have multiple screens and still getting input latency, and this is still an issue for you, then go with full screen exclusive if you have multiple screens. I have multiple screens. I use full screen borderless. I don't get input latency. I don't get input latency at all, and my game runs perfectly fine at full screen exclusive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're running a lower end machine, I would go with windowed mode over here, because you can actually downscale the resolution of the game and actually have a smoother gameplay experience depending on the lower budget machines that you guys are running. Now, then I would go with this option over here, which is the windowed mode, or you can go with full screen extended windowed mode and you can get away with it. But the two best options right now at this very moment is if you have one screen, full screen exclusive. If you have multiple screens, full screen borderless, and go ahead and use that for now. All right, let's jump straight into the next step. All right, so this is the next step, and I highly recommend you go ahead and play around with this, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't want to, you don't need to, but the aspect ratio plays a very big role inside this game. Now, I've always been playing my Call of Duties at wide 16:9, so that's how I play my game. I play it at 16:9. If you don't know what to do inside here and you have a, let's say, a gaming monitor or ultra wide screen or whatever the case might be, you can just go to automatic, and it will automatically detect the screen that you're currently running, and it will apply it to your game. So just go ahead and choose whatever you want inside here. You can obviously see what type of screens you are running. It actually shows you. What I would suggest is go to automatic and let it automatically select the screen for you. I do know that mine runs perfectly fine on 16:9. Most people out there should run this at 16:9 at this very moment. It runs perfectly fine on 16:9. Right, from here, you're going to go to shader preloading, but we're going to skip this option, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to skip this option because we're going to come back to this once we are done applying every single setting inside this game. Now, display gamma, you can go ahead and put this at 2.2 if you have a display or a laptop screen. Put it at 2.4 if you have a TV or anything like that, or a gaming monitor. I'm going to repeat myself. If you have a gaming monitor, I'm talking you paid a lot of money for your monitor, its refresh rate is really high, and it's a really good screen. 2.4 can actually help you with digital vibrance in the game and make the game run a little bit smoother if you put this at 2.4. But if you just own a normal display, like a normal screen or normal laptop screen, go with 2.2 and you should be good to go. Gamma/brightness, I highly recommend putting this at 55% to 60. Do not over push this, ladies and gentlemen. Do not push it over 60%, because then the game looks washed out. All right. Now, NVIDIA Reflex Low Latency plays a very big role on this game itself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see there on the right hand side, it literally spoon feeds you, and you can literally just open your eyes over here, literally use the eyeballs that was given to you when you were born. You can just use them and then put them right here and read what the fuck this does. All right, now on says low latency mode is enabled and optimize systems latency. Then on plus boost is low latency mode. This is basically CPU bound and GPU bound. That's what it gets to, right? I don't want to make this video too long. I'm just going to explain what this means. All right. So if you are CPU bound cases, you're going to go ahead and choose this, meaning that your CPU is not as good as your GPU. So you have a way better GPU, you go with on plus boost. If you have a way better CPU, you go with on. All right. Now, at this very moment, what I highly recommend is this. Please listen and hear me out. If your game automatically put this on, leave it on. If your game automatically put it on plus boost, leave it on plus boost. If your game, I don't know if this is a case, I don't think it would be, but this Call of Duty is so weird, and computers are so weird these days with certain players out there playing this game. It might have put this off for you. If it did, go ahead and immediately change it to on or on plus boost. You're going to have to play around with it. If yours was off, I highly doubt that yours was off, but ladies and gentlemen, please leave it on the one it gave you. Mine gave me on, so I'm going to leave it on because I'm running a 14700K, a 4070 Super, and then 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 megahertz RAM. That's what I'm running right now as a machine, and it gave me on as a suggestion for my machine. So leave yours as is what it gives you. Do not play around with it, okay? Leave it as is and you should be good to go. All right, this one over here, eco mode preset, highly recommend you put it as a custom. VSync gameplay is something that I highly recommend you go ahead and select and put on over here to 100% if you are getting something like this, screen tearing. It's the only reason why you would put this on, and another reason why you would put this on is if you want to cap your FPS to the refresh rate of your monitor. So let's say you have a 144 Hz monitor, or let's say you have a 240 Hz monitor. It will cap the FPS to the refresh rate of your monitor if you put this at 100%, ladies and gentlemen. Just bear this in mind. So if you have a 60 Hz screen, you'll only do 60 FPS, and you won't climb any higher than that in the gameplay. Okay, now let's say you have a 120 Hertz, 144 Hertz. That's the FPS that you'll reach, and that's where it will go to, and it won't go any further than that. But ladies and gentlemen, what I would suggest you do is turn this off if you do not get screen tearing. Okay, and your game does not feel stuttery, it doesn't feel like you have input latency and stuff like that. If your game runs perfectly fine with both of these options off, I highly suggest leaving them off for smoother gameplay experience. All right, custom frame rate limit, I have mine on unlimited and always had it unlimited and will always have this game on unlimited. Now, there's also a custom mode, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to need to know the refresh rate of your monitor to be able to tweak this in your own way. So let's just say you have a 120 Hertz monitor, then I highly suggest you put this at 120. Let's say you have a 144, you put it at 144. You get my point. Then do the FPS that your screen's hertz refresh rate is, and you should be good to go. You could put this exactly the same as your other one as your screen, so 144 as well. You can do that, or you can drop it down to 60, and then over here put this at 30. This if you want your own custom settings. I don't use this, I don't suggest this, but ladies and gentlemen, everyone has their own personal preference over here when it comes to this. I have mine unlimited and leave it unlimited and have always the highest FPS that my machine can push out. It will always do that. That's what you want, and I highly suggest you use this. 95% of the gaming community actually do use unlimited, so they do unlimited FPS, so they can push their FPS to the max that it can go to. All right, over here, reduce menu render resolution, you're going to leave at native, and then pause game rendering off, reduce quality when inactive. This is a brand new settings, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Is this going to be like a thing now? I don't know why this is even a setting in this game. Like, reduce the quality of the game when you inactive. Meaning, let's say you standing in the lobby, all right? And you go make coffee or something like that. It's going to reduce the quality, and then as soon as you move your mouse, then the quality is going to come back. That is actually a fucking dog shit option. Okay, maybe it's going to help your GPU not run too hectic, or your CPU not run too hectic, or whatever the case might be. I'm guessing that's what they implied with the setting, but fuck knows why they did that. Because you want your CPU, GPU, and RAM, all of it to run at its best that it can run, always. So turn this the fuck off. Why is this even an option? Call of Duty comes up with the weirdest fucking options, and this is why I say they smoke crack before they release games. And I mean, if you don't believe me, here's a setting to prove you right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, focus mode, turn this off. All right, then from here, what you're going to need to do is just apply these settings, and then you're going to come to the quality tab right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we are in the quality tab right now, and I just want to mention this over here, since we are in the quality tab. You get reset to recommended. This is if you change settings before. You get minimum, basic, balance, ultra, and extreme. Now, my game can run this perfectly fine. Every single setting inside here. But that's not what you want. You want custom settings to have a smooth gameplay experience. Doesn't matter if you're a low-end machine user, medium-end machine user, high-end machine user. It does not matter. We are going to customize these settings. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm running a 14700K with a water cooling block on it, a 4070 Super, which is fucking overclocked. My RAM is overclocked, everything is overclocked in my machine, and I still use competitive settings. Why? Because then you can have a smoother gameplay experience and have a competitive advantage over your enemies. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point this out as well, is this over here. As you can see, it says other apps being used in the background. Now, that is almost 1 gig that it's using over here, almost 1 gig. Now, I just want to put this out there. If you are using Discord, number one, it will use quite a lot of VRAM. It's like 400 megs to 600 megs if I'm correct. With Discord, just bear in mind, normally people play with Discord. If you're on a computer, you would be playing with Discord. If not, and you don't use Discord, then just don't use Discord, because it actually uses quite a lot of VRAM in the background. Close all background apps that you aren't using so that this stays at a very low number, okay? I have Discord open right now at this very moment, and I also am using OBS to record this video, so that's why it's almost doing 1 gig. Now, if you have all those programs off, let's say you have Discord closed, you have all your background apps closed, Google isn't running, nothing's running but the game, the lower this will be, the better your game will perform, the more VRAM you can take advantage of in this game. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go over this. Dynamic resolution. Please, for the love of fuck, right now at this very moment, if you're running at least a high-end machine, medium to high, almost, basically when I say medium to high, it's almost like your GPU and CPU is almost the equivalent to getting to a GPU and CPU that's high-end, okay? Then turn this off. If you're running a mid-tier that's almost to a low-tier machine, you can go ahead and turn this on. It can actually help you. Now, this is what I want to go over, is this over here, and it's very, very important, is the upscaling and sharpening in this game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I just want to point out that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm just going to show you this right now, this very moment. If I select AMD FSR 3, right? Now, back in the day, it was 3.0. Now they're just calling it 3, okay? So, just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. It's Call of Duty. They just... yeah, they crack smoking, retarded, motherfucking stupid-ass company that don't know what the fuck they're doing. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, follow my guidelines, you should be good to go. Now, if you choose AMD FSR 3, not going to say 3.0 anymore, 3 on Black Ops 6, and you go show more, can you see that there is a thing that's called AMD FSR preset? Okay, now obviously if you put this at native, you will do the native resolution of your monitor. So let's say you're doing 720p, you'll be doing 720p. Let's say you do 1080p, you'll be doing 1080p. 1440p, you'll be doing 1440p. 4K, you'll be doing 4K. Now, I'm going to make an example for you guys, because a lot of people won't know about this because it's not even in here, but when you do the benchmark, it actually shows you that it's on. Okay, if you go to quality over here, and this is what I suggest you use, is AMD FSR 3 at quality with a medium to a high-end machine. Use this because it's actually a really, really good upscaling in this game, okay? For better FPS. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here at the bottom, it says NVIDIA DLSS frame generation. There is no AMD frame generation here. No option to switch it on or off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point this out, that every time you use AMD FSR 3, it automatically puts frame generation on AMD's version. And here's a screenshot to prove this to you. This is me doing a benchmark, ladies and gentlemen, showing you that AMD FSR, when you use it, depending on which one you use it on, is going to use AMD frame generation for you. It will automatically use it for you. You can't turn it off anymore, and you can't turn it on anymore. It's automatically on. But, ladies and gentlemen, what you can do is put it at native, so it does the native resolution of your monitor. Now, this is for people out there that has at least decent computers. Put it at native. Now, when you have a medium-end machine, you go ahead and go with quality. If you have a low-end machine, you go with balance. Then it will balance out the quality and the performance at the same time. Okay? Go ahead and go with AMD FSR 3.0 for the people out there that wants the FPS and wants this game to run perfectly smooth on their computer. Alright, AMD FSR 1, I do not suggest at all to be using. It's a bunch of bullshit. Okay? Then we get the Intel upscaling. A lot of people actually also do use this that I know of, but it's not all of you guys, but a lot of people do use this as well. And then you can go ahead and use like Ultra Quality Plus, which is quite cool to make your game look really, really good. It actually says here on the right hand side what all the settings are going to be doing for you: ultra performance, performance, balance, quality, ultra quality plus, and then native. Then it says superior native render resolution, meaning native will always do the render resolution of your screen. So let's say 720p, 1080p, 1440p, 4K. It will do that resolution. Ultra quality, it will say higher quality visual upscale. Quality, it will say the exact same thing. When it says balance, when it comes to balance over here, it says optimal performance and image quality. Now, what I would suggest is if you want to use this option and you have a medium-end machine to a machine that doesn't run as good, it's not the high-end machine, go with balance over here, and it will balance the quality and the performance for you if you're using this upscaling and you want to use this upscaling. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the VDL DLSS is the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and you can go ahead and only put this at quality, balance, performance, or ultra performance. Ultra performance, do not select this. It makes the game look like absolute dog shit. Performance, you can go ahead and use this if you want to, but I wouldn't if you're running DLSS. If your GPU supports DLSS and it gives you the option and you can use it, I would suggest balance or quality, but I would highly suggest quality over here. Go ahead and select it and you should be good to go if you're using NVIDIA DLSS. Now, what I suggest you do is then from here, put off frame generation if you are using NVIDIA's upscalings. All right, from here, ladies and gentlemen, you can go here. And then DLAA, we're going to skip this option because it's a bunch of dog shit. And I just fucking hate this option because it makes the game, just in general, it looks okay, but the game runs like shit. Okay? NVIDIA image scaling is also something a lot of people do use. And I suggest you use this at native, so it does the native resolution of your monitor. This is for high-end users to medium-end users, and the machine is running this game perfectly fine. Then if you're going to a lower-end budget machine, to medium to low-end, you're going to go with quality or with balanced, okay? Ultra quality for higher-end machines and native for higher-end machines, because then it will do the native resolution of your screen. If you've got a 720p screen and you've got a low-budget gaming machine, you can actually use this option and then use native, because then it will do 720p in your gameplay, all right? Keep this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. All right, from here, I'm going to go to Fidelity FX Cache. This is the upscaling I'm using at this very moment, and I love this upscaling. I don't know why, but in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, with the multiplayer, Warzone, and all that, I use Fidelity FX Cache, but I push mine up to 200, so I could do 4K resolution in my game, and I still do really good FPS. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a beast of a machine, try this out. Go ahead and go to Fidelity FX Cache, have the sharpening at 50%, but yet again, it's your own personal preference, and push this up to 4K. So, let's just say you have this game at 4K. That is 4K resolution, ladies and gentlemen. Run it at 4K and see how your game runs. If you have a decent machine, this is what people out there that has a decent machine. You can go ahead and use this and use it at Fidelity FX Cache. It is the best looking and performing at 4K. Okay? It's Fidelity FX Cache. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone out there that's playing this game right now, at this very moment that wants the best FPS and the best performance, it's going to be AMD FSR 3, and you're going to have this at native for the people out there that's running high-end machines, medium-end machines quality, and then low-end machines balance, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe you can't get away with your medium-end machine because it's maybe like almost low-end. Go with balance and you should be good to go. AMD FSR 3 at balance and you should be good to go, ladies and gentlemen. Yet again, AMD's frame generation is automatically going to be on. Bear this in mind, ladies and gentlemen. It will automatically be on. But with Black Ops 6, I don't feel any stuttering or anything like that, or input latency that's happening while I have this on and I have this at native. So I do the actual resolution of my screen. Okay, you can go ahead and use that. Now, this over here, the VRAM scale target, I highly recommend putting this at 80. Do not, I repeat, do not put this at 90%. You do not need to put this at 90%. Take advantage of this, ladies and gentlemen. Please take advantage of this. If you know you got a high-end graphics card and a high-end CPU, leave this at 80%. If you know you got a budget gaming machine or budget gaming graphics card, budget gaming CPU, or budget gaming laptop in general, go ahead and put this at 60% and leave it there. Do not drop this lower at all. 60 is perfectly fine for lower end to medium end machines. When you get higher end machines, you go to 80 over here. Always do not push this to 90. You do not need to. All right? Please, you do not need to. Now we're going to come down and we're going to come to the detail and textures, and we're going to come to texture resolution. Now very low is not an option. You are not going to be using this at all, even if you've got the worst machine ever, even if you are playing this game on your Samsung fridge or your Samsung toaster or Samsung microwave. You're going to either be putting this at low if you are playing this on a toaster, on a microwave or something like that, or a very low end machine. You go with low over here. Please go with low over here. Or you can go with normal and try it out. I would suggest normal for both of these for medium end machines. And then lower end machines, I would go to low over here and then have this at low as well. But you can go with try this with medium, depending on the machine that you are running and what your machine is capable of doing over here, ladies and gentlemen. So now what I would suggest you do is this over here. Also, is this. You go here and then go to high if you have a high-end machine, and go to high if you have a high-end machine. Do not go to ultra. You don't need it, ladies and gentlemen. You really don't. For high-end machines, you go with high, and you are good to go over here. Depth of field, you're going to leave this off. Who in their right mind plays with depth of field? Turn it the fuck off and leave it the fuck off. Detail, quality. This is very, very effective on your GPU and takes a lot of, like, in general, FPS. It eats up FPS, and I would suggest you put this at low and leave it at low. Particle resolution at very low. Bullet impacts, leave this on. Effects, turn this off. Shader quality at low. You do not need it. On-demand texture streaming, you cannot turn off right now at this very moment. It's been a thing since Modern Warfare 3, ladies and gentlemen. Just leave it at minimal. Over here, your local texture streaming quality, always at normal. You can have the lowest end gaming machine ever. Like I said, you could be playing this on a calculator, and if you can get it right playing it on a calculator, leave this at normal. If you can get it right playing this on a nuclear machine that can launch nukes, also leave this at normal. Alright, shadow and lighting plays a very big role on the FPS in this game and how the game performs. You can have your shadow quality at very low. Screen space, shadows, off, always off, leave it the fuck off and done. This over here, the screen space lighting, completely fucking off. You are not playing single player, turn it off, alright? Screen space reflections, off, leave it off, always the fuck off, and done. Static reflection quality at low, ladies and gentlemen, alright? Then the environment, tessellation, off, not near, not all, off. Leave it off and done. Volumetric quality low, physics quality off. You do not need to see the physics in the game, because while the physics are off in the settings over here, you can still see the physics in the game. So turn it the fuck off. Weather grid volumes off. Water quality off. The water looks exactly the same if you turn it off or you use water caustics or wave wetness or all. It does not matter. Leave it off and it still looks exactly the same. Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. I'm running a 14700K water cooled 4070 Super overclocked RAM that is overclocked with different timings, meaning I'm running at least a high hefty machine. I'm running not a beast, but it's a high hefty machine. And look at the settings I'm using. Look at the settings I'm using, ladies and gentlemen. So please go ahead and just follow these and you'll be good to go. Look at the FPS I'm currently doing. In the menu, I'm doing almost 200 FPS. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before I jump straight into the next steps, that's very, very important. And yes, you're going to need to follow the rest of the steps I'm about to follow in this video. Is this over here, ladies and gentlemen. You can go ahead and email me here. I do charge a service fee on this, ladies and gentlemen. If your game isn't working through Battle.net or Steam, or it's crashing to the desktop randomly, you're getting a DirectX error, a black screen error, or whatever the case might be. This could be for Modern Warfare 3, it could be for multiplayer, it could be for Black Ops 6, it could be for any Call of Duty that you're having problems with. I can go ahead and fix that for you. Like I said, I do charge a service fee and I can do it personally. All you can do is just email me right there. I can add you to my Discord server and we can take it from there through the emails. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if, like I said, if you're having any problems, it doesn't matter what problems you're having, if you want your game to be optimized, if you want your Windows to be optimized, if you want your game to be fixed, if it does crash all the time, black screen errors, DirectX errors, all those kind of nice things that Call of Duty is throwing to every single person right now, which is actually fucked up. But anyways, if you would like me to fix it for you personally, go ahead and email me right there. I'm doing 200 FPS. I do about 400 to almost 500 FPS with my machine with this settings. So this is the best performing settings you can use right now at this very moment, ladies and gentlemen. Now from here, you're going to come to the view settings and just apply the settings. View, ladies and gentlemen, is just something is your own personal preference. I cannot tell you what to do here, but what I do suggest is this over here. here. Turn this off, have your FOV at your personal favorite where it wants to be. I have mine at 120 and I leave it there, and then come all the way down to where it says inverted flash and take advantage of this, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and turn it on so you don't get flashbanged and it actually looks like a flashbang came through your monitor and landed on your table and you become completely blind, ladies and gentlemen. Please go ahead and put this on. It will actually make your screen go black instead of white then. Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and bench this, but this has not been applied, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the most important step you're going to need to take. But before we do that, I'm going to jump into the interface, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to come inside here, and please go ahead and come to telemetry over here, and go ahead and say all on, so you can actually see what you're doing in FPS over here, and what you're doing with your machine up here, if you don't use MSI Afterburner like me over here. Leave them all on like this so you can see what you're doing with your machine. I highly suggest you do this and then skip introduction movie. Please go ahead and turn this on. It's a very important thing to do because you don't want to watch the introduction movie every time you come into this game. Here, where it says network in-game icons, alerts and stuff like that, I highly suggest just leaving these two on. Please just leave them on so you can actually see what's going on in your game. If you're getting packet loss, if you're getting packet burst, if you're getting stuttering in your game, you'll know what they are. You can even take a picture with your phone or what this is if you don't know what's happening here. So that's packet burst is number 3. That's how packet burst looks. You can actually see what they are. And then if this comes on your screen, you know what's happening with your game. So please just leave them on. Don't turn them off, ladies and gentlemen. Please go ahead and keep these on. It's very, very important. Right, from here, ladies and gentlemen, is the most important step you're going to need to take is this right here. All right, so you're going to come to the display tab over here and you're going to click on restart shader preloading. And then once you're done clicking on that, you're going to click on restart like this and then press escape on your keyboard, press escape, press escape, press escape, press escape, press escape, press escape, and then press yes and quit out of the game completely and quit to your desktop. Now, it doesn't matter what you're running this game through, if it's Steam or Battle.net, launch the game, ladies and gentlemen. Once it's launched, it's going to start installing preloading shaders here at the top, and it's going to install the shaders for you. Now, all you're going to need to do is once your game launches through Steam or Battle.net, wherever you're playing this game through, let it install the shaders at the top left here to 100%. Now, if it starts installing or downloading or whatever it says installing, what it will do is this. It might get stuck on a 0%. Just put your mouse on COD like this and click anywhere. Just one click. Just one click like this. Just a click. And then you leave it. Leave your mouse, leave your keyboard, leave everything, and let it install all the way to 100%, and you'll be good to go.